Okay. All right. You ready?
Hello. We are doing our now second road trip in our Tesla. We're driving for a travel nurse assignment in Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts. That's why the car is all packed up. But this first day we drove from northern Minnesota up through Duluth, and now we're in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This trip has been quite a bit different, I would say, than the Texas trip. It's a lot more 55 mile per hour roads. So this last stretch that we did, we drove for like 4.5 hours, which we've never driven that long without charging. But it was just that we were driving slower the whole time. And Gabriel did a really good job of following the speed limit. Yeah, what do you think?
It was for sure the longest time distance drive, but it was only like 250 miles. So
Yeah.
in Duluth, we charged all the way to 100% pretty much. We will probably get there with 16% left. And it's been like brilliant conditions. So, I mean, there's a few roads construction on the way for like, yeah, and then we had to stop for a bit. I'll say all in, like almost a year into owning the car, the range, if I was to do like a back of the envelope calculation, will probably be like 290.
Miles.
Yeah, 219 miles, maybe 300 if you run it to zero. Mind you, it's EPA rated for 306, so not that far away from the EPA
But the
rating.
speed of which you drive matters.
Right, so if you're driving on the like regular interstate,
You won't make it.
you know, you won't make it as far because you're going 75, probably like 80, depends on what state you are. I think the fastest I went today was like 60, 61 maybe. So that kind of matters.
And a lot of stopping, not stopping, but slowing down in towns.
Right. I'm sure, like, you know, like people usually have problems with phantom braking. Not terrible this trip. I have gotten to enjoy the using the drive assist. I don't know what you call it. Yes, whatever.
Road assist.
Lane assist. Yes, and it's been actually pretty cool. I noticed that the places that gives you the most problems are like when there's like terrible data, like very poor like cell service / internet access. We stopped in the past a little bit past Duluth, maybe an hour past Duluth. There was a spot that was really foggy, so it didn't actually let me use it, which is kind of interesting. I was under the impression that it uses kind of like mapped out data of the roads, but turns out it actually uses like vision, so visibility matters, which is very interesting. But once we got past that cloudy patch, we were able to see fine. But most of the ways it's been like the most we've had are 2-lane like roads, no 3-lane roads, and they're like going in either direction. Probably 70% of the journey has been 1-lane roads, and it did pretty well, like no problems.
And the internet service or like the Spotify for the car has been excellent. Like my phone has had no service this whole time because we're in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, and like northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. No cell service, but like Spotify has not bothered at all. So
it's probably Uncle Elon with his Starlink or something. But yeah, pretty good.
It's been great. Can you charge your electric car in the rain?
Of course you can. Let's
It was a valid question. You didn't know that. But yes, you can. Otherwise, nobody in Seattle would have an electric car.
Right.
Okay, so today we entered into Canada, and I just want to show you guys that here on the car we were able to switch it over to kilometers per hour, and then underneath it shows you the miles per hour that you're going. Everything else stays the same. You can just do it in display, and you go down and click kilometers. You can also change the temperature and other things, but we don't want to do all that. But yeah, very handy for driving through Canada.
They can't smell that monstrosity.
This is the first time it's happened to us, but we came to the charging station in Kitchener, Ontario, and it's at a Tesla dealership. As you can see, there's many Teslas around, but the place was full, so it showed this little clock. So essentially, you see the little clock means that you're gonna have to wait for a charging spot, but we only waited like, what, 5 minutes, and now 2 just opened up, so we're gonna just charge away.
It seems like lots of people use this charging station, so it like auto resets your charging limit to just 80%, which, you know, honestly is fine. You just have to drive 75 miles. I guess if you live in a bigger city and you commute frequently, it's something like you may want to know. But yeah.
You said it was downloading something too?
Oh yeah, because we're at the supercharging station, there was an update, but we weren't able to download it before we left home. But it's downloading because, I don't know, it's at home, I guess.
It feels like it's at home.
Yeah.
So we are now driving somewhere in upstate New York, heading to Saratoga Springs. But we just had an interesting, what would you call it, encounter with, I think it was a Hilton hotel. Online, they advertised having EV charging. So that was kind of the sole reason we booked that hotel, is because we're like, cool, we'll get there, we can charge. It's a smaller town. It was upstate New York, in Auburn, New York. So there won't be a lot of charging around. And we get there, and there's signs outside that say EV charging parking spot. We parked there and we're like, can't find it. So we go ask inside, and she's like, oh yeah, there's one on this side, one on this side. So okay, you should tell us first, because then you went back out to go like figure it out.
Yeah, so I go back out to find said charging, and turns out that it's socket, like a 110 volt.
Like what you would have in your bedroom.
Yeah, it's stuff you plug your iPhone on. And
which you can plug your Tesla into, but it will take like 4 days.
No, not 4 days. But like it's not an EV charging. It's just a wall plugging, you know. Anyways, so I talked to the guy in front desk.
But also, you needed an extension cord.
Right. And that was the kind of stupid part. It was like all the way in the corner of the hotel, and you needed an extension cord. It was far away. So I ended up talking to the guy and asked him, oh, what's that about? And he was like, well, according to Hilton, that's EV charging. And I'm like, what? Because we've been at other Hiltons that have EV charging.
Like
and
an actual like
right,
charging
they usually have
station.
a literal charging station. So I just thought that was interesting. So
you looked it up on.
I think everybody needs to get Plugshare. It's like an app. I could probably like link it at the bottom of this video as well. When you click on Plugshare and click the location, people like check in, and then they take a picture so you know where it is and what it looks like. And I should have done that before we came on this trip, because it could have saved me the time. Would have stayed somewhere else, you know. But yeah, that's kind of an interesting encounter.